everyone, and welcome back. Today we are going to be playing Lightning Army of One. This is a card that I kind of wanted to build around instantly when it came out because I really enjoyed Winota when it was in Pioneer. I know, yell at me, I don't really care. I really liked Winota. This kind of gave me that vibe because I liked flipping out Angrass Marauders and doing double damage, if not like quadruple damage, because if you know how double damage works, it does 4x the amount. But this is a card that has me excited because when Lightning deals combat damage to a player until your next turn, so even on our opponent's turn, if a source would deal damage to that player or permanent that player controls, it deals double that damage instead. So for example, if our opponent shocks in a land, they take 4. If we burst lightning them, they take 4. If we Boros Charm them, they take 8. So it is a lot of damage that we can do here. So lightning is very exciting. We're playing the summon here mainly to give it haste whenever we flip it, or is just kind of a draw spell in red, which is nice so we can hit extra land drops and whatnot. We have Zack in here to sack for 1 colorless to make sure we can give it indestructible if we ever had to play generically. And then we are just playing a strong Boros shell, and we do very well. It's going to be in the thumbnail, so it's a spoiler. But we do run 7-0. However, I do not play my best today. Today is a day, if you are a subscriber to my channel, that this is a ride or die video. You're going to see me just not catch anything, and it's pretty bad. I flip over a Boros Charm at one time for lethal, and I just sit here and stare at my monitor. Like, I don't know what I was doing today. I worked before this, and I had to I literally batched numbers all day. So I was typing in like 12-digit barcodes for 8 hours today. So staring at my monitor is just something I didn't want to do, and doing numbers was something my brain just could not process. So today you're going to see me play kind of bad, but we still went 7-0. So let's go ahead and start the journey. No way I just hit record and I got a text. I can't. Buddy, nobody fight that man. Well, we're going to try to do lightning shenanigans. That is the goal. Is this a play? Or counter you may play. Okay, so if we hit a land, we're good. Sometimes the exile effects are weird because you just like never know whether getting a play mechanic or like a cast mechanic. For example, that land you can play next turn. Obviously, they might remove our summon here so we don't get that land, but It's always weird though to like remove the summon, because it does die on its own. So there's kind of like a weird catch to that, but they might do it just because, you know, what if they stop me on lands? Sure. We get that land now because another counter happens here. Now we get to play that land, which is obviously awesome for us. This will go away at the end, so I'm just going to shelter here. Take this. We're going to go to combat and hit for 4. 5. A little bit. An amount. And then we have another land, and we're just going to be looking to double Boros Charm them at some random point in the game. Nowhere to run. That takes care of a higher claw. Then this is obviously gone. So that sucks, obviously, but it is what it is. Spyglass Siren, sure. Burst Lightning, so we just have all the burn in the world. So we have 8, 10, potentially more. This could be 4, depending if we rip another land. Just see if they go for like a curiosity here or something. Come on. Although they obviously might go for it on our end step. Here's 4. We will probably not play around any counter magic. I know you can argue that I could, but if they're wanting to flash in a curiosity here, I'm just going to put as much pressure on them as I can. Fine. If you rip another land, which is like whatever. We only played 22. So kind of a bit high, obviously, on our land count. Let's see what's up. You can do 4 here. It's also kind of hard and sucks that in a matchup like this, our best case scenario is we have to grind it out in a weird way like this, where the opposite was true on the fact that if we're going to test out a deck, this is the hardest match to go against, but we know our game plan against this match, and we rip in another land, which isn't great. Nowhere to run is kind of a dead card for them. Oh, and they go empty-handed. Let's see Sissel attack, please. They do attack with it. Okay. So it'll gain lifelink after, so we get a turn. They're going to deal 2 to themselves. Flip that for lifelinker. Go to 7. There's ever a time to rip another burn spell, that would be the time, baby. Let's go. Very cool. So, update. We can't win that game if they don't attack with Sissel, because we would put them down to 1. All right. This is it. This is a hand. Let's just... I guess we can just play Mountain first. Go to here. And then we can play Starting Town, play here. We don't necessarily need the card from it. Obviously, if it gives us another card, then we'll take it. But we'll see. Unfortunate rip for them. Or unfortunate matchup for us, because, like, it's going to be a weird one. Shelter is pretty cool. I could just play the Shelter by Ghost, especially if they tap out here. Yeah, it seems like we should. I want the Shelter. It's just way better. There's another one of those. And we can play this next turn while also having 1 extra mana, right? Maybe we'll rip like a Burst Lightning. Yeah, that's fine. We play this, even though it doesn't necessarily help us a ton. Go to here. And then, obviously, we'd love to take that, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. They have to pay to re-equip that, so it's actually a better take that way. Then we hit them, we gain a little life, we go up to 3. And the summon will actually trigger and give the lightning haste anyway. So, we can just kind of play around that, or we can play the other summon. And that summon will have haste plus draw us a card, technically. Just kind of depends here what we want to do. My voice is cracking for some reason. But also remember, our Bash Pronter is going to deal 4 damage here. Especially if they attack us, which I hope they do. I hope they just don't expect a lightning out of nowhere. I don't think they do. So now our creature gets haste, which is a lightning. Unfortunately here... Honestly, is it not to play the summon and then hold up Boros Charm? Let's play summon here, actually. It's haste. That's a Screaming Nemesis. I don't think I want to actually attack with that. I think I just want to hold it and threaten this Screaming Nemesis and then use the Boros Charm for protection. But now with that extra land draw as well, I can shock, play the lightning, have it attack. Okay, fair. Play the hand so they'll make 1 extra mana here. All this resolves. I'm perfectly okay with Vivi in these type of decks. I just get annoyed with Vivi in the... Not even Vivi. Vivi's not even the card that I think of whenever I think of those. I don't necessarily get annoyed by Vivi. I get annoyed by, like, the, oh, what do I want to say? Cauldron. There we go. I've been listing cards, staring at a computer all day. So my brain is kind of cooked, I'm going to be honest with you. So, we accept that. We have a creature with menace. Lightning has first strike. Trample. lifelink, but I can't necessarily get through these creatures. Vivi is just kind of annoying. That kind of sucks. To do. I'm thinking, boss. Sorry. A creature will have haste here. Doc. Guess Vivi doesn't answer it anyway. Combat. This. Double block there. They sure they understand how this is gonna work? And it's double strike lifelink. If I give permanents I control gain indestructible, right? What if I give lightning double strike? So it hits for 3, and then it goes in for 3 again for 6. But then this will still die, which isn't great. If I give them indestructible, it'll wipe those out. But can I not just do that anyway? This is what, pump 1? I guess it's just this and give them indestructible. Or it's... This is 8 damage. That's 3 to 10. That puts them to... way lower. Right? Yeah, maybe we just Boros Charm them. That's fine. Lightning trigger. Now this comes through. They're supposed to trade, and then we just end turn. I know that's a weird way to do it, but now I can get my creatures indestructible, but then also Boros Charm them. They could also have a Cauldron and not have cared. Yeah. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Creatures gain double strike, Boros Charm. I think it's just better to set them to... I think it's better to set them to 2 here. It's surprising too. Watch him shock and then die. That'd be really funny. They can make 5 mana here. Activate that. Get rid of my summon, I guess. They can grab the other torch back. Or... sleight of hand. Which sleight of hand is not better here just because you have a 2-drop and a Screaming Nemesis coming, right? As long as we live this turn. Honestly, even like Cauldron in this deck doesn't feel near as bad. It's just like when they're doing the combo for 45 minutes that it also obviously feels horrible. Yeah, but they cleared that. That's why I was saying they can't take sleight of hand. They could have bargained. Could have done that before they cast their spell too, because that would have got an extra counter on it. I was saying a deck full of haste. I don't know if I would have attacked, but we'll take it. Just another top deck burn spell for the win. Very nice. All right, so here we go. Got another good keeper. We're on to play. We can starting town, get that white source available. Obviously, the red won't be available off of it, but with starting town, our whole hand's playable. And the white, honestly, not being that bad because we can hit the shelter. So, with starting town in our deck, I guess it's pretty obvious that we're probably doing something. And I'm just going to go ahead and pump this here. Could hold like a Helix for maybe a 2-drop that they play. Simic is probably something else. It could be Sultai. Oh, it is. This is Reanimator, of course. I don't think it takes like mad scientists to figure that out, but that's only a land grabbed. Okay. I guess it doesn't really matter what I rip here. I think I still want to play. I guess that also doesn't matter either, right? Because this requires a red. Play here. What do we flip? All right, deal. So in this matchup, I don't necessarily think it matters all too much. I think they'll block regardless. So I don't need to waste my burst lighting on the creature when I can guarantee 2 damage to the dome. 4. All right. Well, we can burst lightning it out of the way on the instep because we do have a Boros charm, and getting in for like 4 damage would be sweet. Especially when we don't necessarily have to... We don't have to win that turn, right? We just have to... Whenever they reanimate, we don't have to win the game or have them win, right? As long as there's not an Arden with haste in there, it doesn't really matter. We just need to make sure that we do enough damage here that we can then kill them on our turn. Hopefully there's no bounce spell. Again, my brain... rotting. Like I don't know what's happening. So is best play here attack Boros charm them? I guess, right? It's attack, pump, goes to 3. I think that's the best play. Do this. And then that puts them to just 5. It sets them a bit lower. Double strike doesn't do as much damage as just Boros charming them would. So we put them to 8. I should have put the shelter by ghost on. Now we could miss by 1. Yeah, brutal. Now we can miss by 1. Hopefully it doesn't matter, but actually if they have to shock, we get there. This deck doesn't play a ton of land, so they might have to. They do. We get there anyway. Yeah, there's no Arden, right? There is no Arden in this. Okay, sweet. And also, there is a give our things indestructible here, but Bringer forces you to sacrifice. Sacrifice gets around indestructibility, just in case you don't know. Yeah. They gain life. What do they gain life from? Oh, they get a town? That's crazy. They play starting town and the town greeter got them a town. That's, honestly, that's pretty dope. If I lose to that, I lose to that. We're going to do the Boros charm here. Wait, I just hit a Boros charm. What am I tanking on? Dude, I need to record before work or something. I am cooked. Like, dude, my brain is not working. Oh my god. Thankfully, we didn't do something dumb like Lightning Helix. Holy cow, bro. I'm sorry, opponent. I did not mean to slow roll you. I'm literally that dumb right now. It's crazy. My opponent is first. Our hand is good. My brain is not. We have learned. We might as well shock this in because the shocking end of this is going to do the same as activating starting town twice. Except we'll actually lose more damage if we play starting town first because we play it. We either do the same or we don't have the mana. It makes sense in my head. Don't worry about it. I got it. Everybody, relax. I have it. It's fine. Summon. Bitter Triumph gone. Screaming Nemesis up the bat. That card already has haste. It's a Nombo. They concede anyway. Go first. Undeservingly. We'll keep. We have like... Jack Flare might just be good enough to be playing in some of these decks. I know it costs the mana to give our creature that protection, but... Just 1-2, which is fine. Target creature gets indestructible until end of turn, which is pretty cool. We have elves. Maybe we can punish elves in time. 3. Down to 17. I say maybe in time. It's kind of tough. This is kind of a tough thing to do. There's a Tifa. And they attack. All right. Are we dead? The world may never know. Here. Lightning does not have haste, unfortunately. That's why playing the summon on turn 2 is so good, but we can get there weirdly with like a double strike. Hydra, sure. Land. Oh, it's not a fetch. That's actually so huge. That's actually crazy good for us. I said lightning does have first strike. Oh, there you are, you little rat of a card. So now we attack, of course. It seems like they might have a snakeskin veil to give a thing a counter, but it shouldn't matter because of our Boros charm. Sure. We only need lightning to make contact. Okay. So now if I Boros charm this challenger, right? Well, I guess it doesn't matter because the double strike already happened. I'm aware it's my go. Relax. But I kind of want to target it anyway. Yeah, we'll just do the damage. This is 8. I was just counting, brother. Like, let me count. I'm having a bad day, and I'm 5-0. Like, I don't know how this is happening. I know I keep crashing out at every end game, and I'm playing really bad. The math's just not clicking. This might single-handedly be one of the worst sessions of gameplay from me that I've had in a while, of just like not seeing it right away. And I feel like I'm pretty good at seeing it right away, or kind of the line right away, even for my opponents. I just can't read. I don't know what it is. It's so bad. I don't know which one's better here. Maybe it's Menace. Actually, don't know. I'm probably playing them both regardless, because I'm going to play Higher Claw. Actually, Higher Claw is better to play here. Rest in peace. Would not care. Weirdly, I could not care less. I would go to combat. It's definitely probably Higher Claw. I missed out on a damage here. That's right. I'm used to playing the 2-1. That would actually make it like a better play, but there's the summon. Okay. Let's go to combat here. Most likely we're going to get hit with the removal spell. I'm kind of playing around to split up, to be honest. Now I want to play a summon. See if we can hit a land or not. Or if it's a burn spell, we'll put Forest Charm. Brutal. You can probably bait and just shock this in. Maybe they'll think it's a protection spell. Or they'll just not look around it at all. So you're not gonna look around at all. Sure. Unfortunately, this will not be getting haste this turn. As much as that sucks. And we lose our Boros Charm, which is like good and bad, right? Like obviously we want the Boros Charm, but search target. Sure. Deal. Use a hand, choose a non-land card from it, exile that card, mana value 1 or less, create a 1/1. Sure. So they can make a 1/1 here, which does kind of well. So now it's probably establish a lightning, hopefully. They missed a land. And I think with that land draw, I do want to play a lightning. Because we're about to do a good chunk of damage next turn if we have it. We're already going to do a bit of damage here. They can't block it because I have Menace. It's going to deal 2. which I thought maybe I should just have this deal, like, double pump deal 6. Tetramos, they lose. It's over. Not close. It is now officially over. The game is lost. They can't block. We attack here. Lightning hits. We'll pump once here. Then we will just have the contact happen. So 7. The trigger now goes up. And then they get hit to 1. And then we can lightning strike them. Or lightning helix them. Down to 5. Obviously, we could have double pumped here and done the same. Like, it really didn't matter how we did it. They were tapped out. They played a Tetramos, and we run the deck to 6-0 currently, which is absurd. All right, we are first. Our opponent wasn't quite here right away, so we just are redoing this little intro. I said if they're not rabbits, I will be very upset. Or some form of rabbits, right? Here, I definitely think it's worth Shelter by Ghosting. This Lane War Elves protects our Higher Claw, takes mana away. Also starts gaining us some life in case this game gets drug out. We have to find enough burn spells to win. Now we'll also see a bit of a weird situation. Chocobo, it's a landfall. Sure. We have a second Shelter. They could have a fight spell, which sucks. So now I definitely think it is combat, attack. We pump if they block, of course. Kind of force them to walk into it. There's a 1/1 counter this creature would get. You can do it if they want to shut my turn off. I think that's an ill-advised block. I kind of couldn't disagree with that block more. That was basically everything we wanted personally. And the more they use these fetch lands, the better off we are, because that means they're running out of them a bit. Now we kind of have the same scenario where I'm just going to attack again. It's just getting worse, right? Because now they don't have a second creature to get a lot of value from. And I'm at 31. I'll play a lightning. With just one of these in play, I feel pretty safe, to be honest. Sure. Yeah. It's a pretty good way to get a lot of mana in play. Maybe they have a protection spell. Goes up pretty quickly, 5, but now we're only to 26. And I think with that, that'll do it. So we Boros Charm, give a creature double strike here. Go to combat. We attack. 1 down to 5. This now triggers, and then Higher Claw will hit them for 6, and then we had an additional 6 on top of it. So taking down mono green once again. I really think the initial block that they made to trade their creature, maybe they thought Higher Claw only got a +1/0, which is fair, but I mean the card's on the board. You know, you can read it, I guess. Like, not to say anything. Maybe they're like me. They've been staring at a PC all day, and it was just like a mental slip up. Or they thought they had a crack, like a sack lane, which is very reasonable to think. So, we'll take it. Okay, so here we are. 7-0 we ran today. And, I mean, we had a couple of good draws, I think, in a couple of those games to pull it out. But we are playing that many burn spells for that reason, right? And one of the games where we ripped a Boros Charm and we were pretty much like dead in the water, we could have also ripped a Burst Lightning and won. We also, I think, I could be wrong, we might have been able to rip like a Screaming Nemesis because they couldn't like block or whatever. I don't remember. The thing is we play all these burn spells to draw them when we need them, and when we have 5 or 6 lands in our hand, we are really likely to not draw another land. At least the averages would say. I mean, it's going to be like less than 30%, which is a 1 in 3 draw. So if we draw a land twice, realistically, it should. I mean, it's still 1 in 3 a lot of times, but we should not draw one. But I was kind of surprised how many times we got lightning that actually work without even getting haste. It was just the thing that Boros provides so much pressure early that it feels like Higher Claw alone into a challenger feels like I have to answer these, because they can also just win the game on their own. We don't even need lightning in that situation. But what I liked was the fact that if these didn't really get answered or one got answered, playing the lightning became so scary of a play and so kind of game breaking in a lot of spots where it's like, if that lightning touches me, I'm probably exploding. Because again, the best part about it not having haste, well, not even that that's the best part, right? Because obviously having haste would make it 10 times better. But because it doesn't have haste, when we do attack with it, that means we have all of our mana up. So things like giving it protection or shelter by ghosting it to remove the creature out of the way, or burst lightning a thing and then it hits and then we get the lightning helix them for 6, right? So it's so hard to be in a spot like that as an opponent whenever, you know, you've had to answer a really strong 1-drop, a really strong 2-drop, and say we make contact and we hit them to 6 or 7 or 8. That's where our burn spells come in. We beat Reanimator after they reanimated, after I flipped over a Boros Charm, waited 5 seconds, and then cast it. But for as tough of a day as me playing pretty tight games or playing Magic well, going 7-0 is almost a miracle. I think the deck's solid. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good. We can win with decks like this playing Ogre, or maybe it's not Ogre. What's the red 4-drop creature land? I think, can I just do land too? I guess I have creature highlighted, right? So where are you? Oh, yeah. Oh, it is Ogre. We can win games with this in our deck, in a burn deck. So I feel like playing Lightning's not that far off. And Lightning's super sweet. And I think as a card, it's really cool. And it's a really cool concept in red to be playing, red-white to be playing, where we just get double damage. And then things like Boros Charm deal 8. Lightning Helixes deal 6. Like Burst Lightning alone deals 4 now. Like what? Better than Lightning Strike in mana value and stuff. And then if we kick it, we deal 8. So that's obviously good. Screaming Nemesis randomly does way more. If they block it, say they block with a 3/3 to trade it off, it deals 6 to their creature even if it's larger, and then shoots our opponent for 6, right? So it just gets kind of exponentially crazier. And it also works like there's a little bit of a combo here with Screaming Nemesis, even though we're not playing that many. If lightning hits our opponent and say Screaming Nemesis happens to be blocked or something, and it's big enough to kill Nemesis, we have to evaluate that. Because if I Lightning Helix a Nemesis, it'll deal 6 here, and then Nemesis will deal 12 on the other side, which is a very interesting like line to see. Never really got there because I do only play 2 of this because I'm so low to the ground. But that said, I hope you all enjoyed. And I am, again, I typically don't upload. Like, if I'm playing bad, I don't like to upload it because it you know, it's, if it's your first time ever watching me and you're watching me play really poorly, why would you ever stick around? Unless you don't care, I guess. Or you think like, oh, he's very clearly aware that he's playing bad. But it's just one of those things where I don't typically upload it. And it's kind of the, you know, when you put something out, you kind of want it to be your best. But we did go 7-0. So I played well enough to win, I guess, or got fortunate enough to win, and I just didn't want to scrap a 7-0 streak with a deck that I find very cool. We put it together. Like, we did build the deck. We just, maybe the pilot didn't quite understand the upgrades, you know what I'm saying? But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video regardless. And I am a little bit joking. I don't really care if I play that bad sometimes. It happens to everybody. It is what it is. And I'll catch you in the next one regardless. So I'll see you. Goodbye.